You're listening to the Dirt Racing Podcast.
Yes, you are listening to the Dirt Racing Podcast. As before we start as in the results portion of the show, tomorrow, if you're in the Knoxville, Iowa area for the World of Outlaws show at 2 o'clock at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is the dedication of the Albaugh Tower. And there'll be a bunch of dignitaries talking, and there'll be some refreshments. And then at 7 o'clock will be a 410 preface night. That's tomorrow at the Knoxville Raceway. Results from last week, we got some racing in. We'll start with Thursday night at the Marshalltown Speedway, which was a great night of racing action. We'll start with your modifieds. Picking up the win was the 17C of Trip Gaylord. Second, the 5L Cody Laney. Third, the 11 of Isaac Malakote. Fourth, the 10C of Caden Carter. Fifth was the 44T of Tanner Black. Sixth was the 21ZZ of Cole Cerneski. The 75 Junior of Chaz Baca was seventh. Eighth was the 3 of Kelly Shyrock. In ninth was the 48K Colin Hibden. Jerry Flippo was 10th in the 13th. 11th, the 2Z Zach Rollins. 12th, the Josh Fisher in the 77F. Kalen Lopez in 16K was 13th. 14th was the 29 of Spencer Dirks. Dan Rodai in the 33X was 15th. 16th was Brian Mullen in the 72. 17th was the V24 of Owen Barnhill. 18th to 58 of Marcus Yari. 19th was Troy Morris in the L7X. 20th was the 28T of Trevor Fitz. 21st was Logan Herbie Anderson in the 53. 22nd was the 40RC of Rob Clement. Credited as it did not finish in 23rd was the 20 of Brandon Schmidt. And 24th was the 38T of Dylan Thornton. In the sport mods, picking up the win was the 01 Braden Carter. Second was the 117 of Dylan Van Wyk. Third, the 21 of Cam Reimers. Fourth, the 8C of Logan Cumby. Fifth was the 29 of Colton Lizzie. Sixth, the 5C of Daniel Harris. Seventh, the 18 of Jocelyn Elmquist. Eighth was the 27K of Xander Keelan. The 392 of Jackson Carey was ninth. 10th, Corey Postonic in the 62. Justin Fetcher was 11th in the 13th. 12th, the 40RC of Hunter Clement. Or the 40HC, of Hunter Clement. Credited with 13th and did not finish was the 7th, Will Wolf. It did not start credited with 14th. The 22C of Michael Johnson. In the hobby stocks, your winner, and he's been hot lately, the 24R of Dylan Richards. Second, the 55X of Corey Vanderwell. Third was the 2 of Kevin Sadler. Fourth, the 2G of Bradley Graham. Brad Graham in the 22G was fifth. Sixth, the 19X of Eric Kazuxin with Eric with the K. Seventh was the 77 of Cody Williams. Eighth was Brandon Farney in the 7. Ninth, 22B of Braden Gifford. 10th, 11B is Solomon Bennett. Aiden Lemasters in the 17T was 11th. 12th to beat 82 of Waylon Burnell. Kale Koch in the 22K was 13th. 14th, 12K of Eric Knudsen with the C. 15th was the 17 of Andy Pack. 16th, the 7X of Clayton Soggy. The wrestler did not finish his. 17th, the 47 SW Sam West. 18th, the 17K of Ryder Kriegel. 19th, the 29N of Nathan Ballard. And 20th was the 88H of Cale Hensley. And then the race of the night for the Sport Compacts came down to the last lap and a photo finish. Picking up the win was the 46 of Michael Gardner. Second was the 89 of Christian Grady. Third was the 75K of Caden Gosling. Connor Atkins in the 13 was fourth. Fifth was 22C of Ryan Cheney. Megan Daniels in the 18 was sixth. Charles Prime in the 7P was seventh. Eighth, Angela Gardner in the 44. The rest did not finish or did not start. 9th, the 83B of Mitchell Bunch. 10th, the 14P of Jason Peterson. And credited with 11th as it did not start, the 47 of Stephen Randall. The stock cars ran on that night, but they ran 2 sets of heat races setting up for Friday night. And we'll have the Friday night results right now. We'll start with the modifieds. Picking up the win, the 48K of Colin Higdon. Second, the 77T of Trip Gaylord. Third was the 53 of Logan Herbie Anderson. Fourth, the 10C of Caden Carter. Fifth was the 75 Junior of Chaz Baca. Sixth, 11 of Isaac Malico. Seventh, the 82 of Jake McBurney. Eighth, the 127 of Ethan Barksma. Cody Laney was ninth in the 5L. 10th, the 28T of Trevor Fitz. Kelly Shyrock in the 3 was 11th. 12th was the 44T of Tanner Black. 13th was Josh Foster in the 77F. 14th, the 13 of Jerry Flippo. 15th was the 21 CZ of Cole Slarneski. Troy Morris in the 7X was 16th. 17th, the 33X of Dan Rydell. Brandon Schmidt in the 20 was 18th. 19th was Cody Hockenstadt in the 0. 21st was the 38 8C Kelly Jury. The wrestler did not finish his. 21st was the 7S of Todd Steinhardt. 22nd to 16K of Kalen Lopez. Dustin Canoeing in the 56 was 23rd, and 24th to be 24 of Owen Barnhill. In the 40 lap, $5,000 to win, stock cars. It came down to a veteran that saved his tires at the end, as Kelly Sharrock has won it for 2 years in a row in Car 3. Second was the 30M of McGuire DeYoung. Third was the 99X of Dalton Murdy. Fourth, Carl Sarneski in the 21CZ. Fifth was the 19 of Jimmy Gustin. Braden Richards, that led a lot of the race to a late race yellow, and the 11R was 6th. 7th, 82 of Jake McGurney. 8th was Rod Snellenberger. John Oliver in the 05 was 9th. 10th, the 93 of Michael Jeanette. Braden Carter in the 7V was 11th. 12th, the A1A of Austin Kaplan. 13th was the 6 of Chance Hollins. 14th was Thor Anderson in the 41. 15th, the 20 of Brandon Schmidt. 16th, 23W of Keegan Wells. 17th to 69, Jonathan Logue. 18th, the 71 David Brandes. 19th, Dave McIntoon in 92. 20th, the 2 of Dave Atcher. The wrestler did not finishes. 21st was the one at Keenan Reynolds. 22nd was the 01 of Troy Jarovich. 23rd was the 99D of Damon Murray. And 24th was Gage Neal in the 12N. In the Swart Mods, your winner was the 01 Braden Carter. Second, the 117 of Dylan Van Wyk. Third, the 2X of Matt Avila. Third was Kyle Olson, and the K3 was fourth. Fifth, the 19J Janae Gustin. Sixth, the 22C of Michael Johnson. Seventh was the 21 of Cam Reimers. Eighth, the 8C of Logan Cumby. Ninth was the 7 of Will Wolf. Randy Havlack in the 3Z was 10th. 11th, Justin Umquist in 18. Tyler Carey in the 9R was 12th. 13th was Justin Fetcher in the 13. The wrestler did not finishes. In 14th, the R31 Michael Rufford. 15th, the 27K Xander Keelan. And 16th, the 40HC of Hunter Clement. In the Hobby Stalkers, he is still hot. The 24R of Dylan Richards was your winner. Second, the 17K of Briar Kriegel. Third was the 7B of Eric Stam. Fourth, the 55X of Corey Vanderwell. Fifth, the 2G of Bradley Graham. Sixth, 77 Cody Williams. Seventh, the 9X of Kobe Saban. Eighth was the 88 Shaquille Helmsley. Ninth, the 2 of Kevin Sadler. 10th, the 9 of Joe McGee. 11th, 22G of Bradley Graham. 12th, 47 SW Sam West. 13th, 11B of Solomon Bennett. 14th, the 22B of Braden Gifford. 15th was the 51X of Dustin Falloon. 16th, the 12K of Eric Knudsen with the Eric with the C. 17th was the 22K of Kel Koch. 18th was the 78N and Matt Nelson. Larry Baldwin in the 9B was 19th. 20th, Alex Yeager in the 81A. 21st to be 82 of Waylon Brunal. 22nd, Clayton Soggy in the 7X. 23rd was the 19X of Eric Knudsen, Eric with the K. And then 24th and 25th did not finish. 24th to 17T, Aiden LeMasters. And Brandon Fernini was 25th. And then you add the Milan Lights to the program. And Josh May picked up the win in 99. Second, the 46 Zia Brian Zim. Third, the 47 Corey Saunder. Fourth, the 4G of Ben George. Fifth, William Nobles in the 8N. Sixth was the 0B of Kobe Overbrant. Tristan Glick in the 5G was 7th. 8th was the 44 of Garrett Barber. Garrison Anderson in the 9 was 9th. 10th, the 47S of Steve Hartley. Taking the wrestler did not finish. Taking a wild ride in 11th was Tanner Gannon in the 3T. 12th, the 48G of Austin Gray. Ryder Hartley in the 87R was 13th. 14th, the 9XL of Colin Anderson. 15th, the X50 of Joel Huggins. 16th, the 96 of Dylan Bush. And 17th was the 722 of Jaden McDowell. Saturday night Was the Sprinnovators on the card over at 34 Raceway? We'll have those results plus the other classes. We'll start with the modifieds. Picking up the win was the 53 of Logan Herbie Anderson. Second was the 22 Austin Becerra. Third, the 50 of Danny Eckridge. Fourth was Chris Zog in the 9Z. Fifth was 26 J of Jaden Fuller. Dennis Levine in 71 was sixth. Seventh, Bill Roberts in the 5R. Blaze Lewis in the 44X was eighth. Ninth, the 32 Skylar Haroon. Andrew Hamburg did not finish. The wrestler did not finish. Andrew Hamburg in the 57 was 10th. 11th, the 8C of Michael Clays. In the mini haulers, picking up the win was the 4 Caleb Easley. Second was Roger Brockett in the 01. Third was 74 of Sheldon Brockett. Fourth was Durain Reimer in the 141. Dawson Trips in the 16 was fifth. Sixth was the 44 Lyle Timmerman. Bob Kalman in the 14 was seventh. Eighth, the 11L Lorraine. Randy Reimer in the 40 was ninth. And the rest did not finish or did not start. 10th was the 44 Larry Hooper. It did not start credited with 11th, the 44T of Tasker Timmerman. The Sport Compacts. Picking up the win was the 2B of Dylan Blank. Tim Snottenhurst in 63 was second. Third was the 48 of Chuck Follenkamp. Fourth was the 2X of TJ Weibels. Fifth was the 20C of Caleb Gacy. Sixth was the 38 of Brandon Crawley. And it did not finish was the 57 of Barry Taff in seventh. And eighth and did not start was the 10C of Chadrick and Poland. Now the 360s. And we'll start with the Sprinnovators. We'll start with heat races. Heat race 1 went to the 1 Taz of Tasker Phillips. Second was the 40C of Cody Worley. Third, the 28 of Luke Venardi. Fourth, the 22 Riley Goodo. Fifth was the 27 of Carson Carl. Chase Brown in 55 was sixth. Seventh was the 31 of McClain Richards. And eighth was the 7B of Nick Guernsey. Heat race 2 went to the 99 of Jake Blackhurst. T-Mac, Terry McCarroll, 24, was second. Third was the 50 of Paul Nieheiser. Fourth was the 11 of Colton Fisher. Fifth, the 2X of Chase Porter. Sixth, the 4 Cameron Martin. And then seventh was Trevor Lee in the 7. And eighth was the 6 of Dustin Salvage. Heat race number 3 went to Tanner Gebhardt in the 81. Second was the 49 Josh Schneiderman. Third was Sawyer Phillips in 3P. Fourth was the 15 junior Cole Meitzer. Then the rest did not finish. And fifth was the 99D of Tucker Daly. Skylar Daly in the 52D was sixth. And the 63 of JJ Hinkle was seventh. In the fourth and final heat race, went to the 2 of Brandon Anderson. Second was 44 Chris Martin. Clint Gardner in the 5A was third. Fourth was the 4G of Cole Gardner. Fifth, Blaine Jamison in the 51J. Sixth, Nathan Mutters in the 71. And eighth, the 88 of Riley Scott. In the dash, your winner was Chris Martin. Second was Tasker Phillips. Third was Tanner Gebhardt. Fourth, Josh Schneiderman. Fifth, Paul Nieheiser. Sixth, Brandon Anderson. Seventh, Sawyer Phillips. And credited with eighth, as it did not finish, was Jake Blackhurst. In the B main, the top 4 would transfer. Blaine Jamison was your winner. Second, Nathan Murders. Third, Tyler Lee. Fourth and final transfer, McClain Richards. They were followed by fifth, Tucker Daly. Sixth, Nick Guernsey. Seventh, Riley Scott. Then the rest did not start with Skylar Daly. Credited with eighth. Ninth, JJ Hinkle. And 10th, Dustin Salvage. In the feature event, your winner was Chris Martin. Second was Josh Schneiderman. Third, Paul Nieheiser. Fourth, Terry McCarl. Fifth, Brandon Anderson. Sixth, Tanner Gebhardt. Seventh was Cody Worley. Eighth, Chase Porter. Ninth, Riley Goodnow. 10th, Cameron Martin. 11th, Sawyer Phillips. 12th, Tyler Lee. 13th, Chase Brown. 14th, Cole Gardner. 15th, McLean Richards. The rest did not finish or did not start. 16th was Cole Meitzer. 17th, Tasker Phelps. 18th, Carson McCarl. 19th, Nathan Murders. 20th was Clint Gardner. 21st, Luke Bernardi. 22nd, Jake Blackhurst. 23rd, Colton Fisher. 24th was Blaine Jameson. And credited as it did not start in 25th, Tucker Daly. Contingencies for the Spinnovators. The King Racing Products went to Cody Worley. DI went to Tyler Lee. Saldana Racing Products, McLean Richards. Brown and Miller Racing Solutions went to Tanner Gebhardt. BR Motorsports went to Luke Bernardi. Rodson Supply went to Tasker Phillips, Tyler Lee, and Josh Schneiderman. The next night was show up points for the Sprint Invaders versus the Malvern Bank 360s out of Nebraska. But it was show up points for the Sprint Invaders. Heat race number 1 went to 11 of Colton Fisher. Second, 44, Chris Martin. Third, Shaylee Bay in the 03. Fourth was the 2 of Brandon Anderson. Fifth was 63, J.J. Hinkle. Seventh was 7G of Jackson Gray. Eighth to 36 of Jason Martin. Eighth to 31, McLean Richards. And ninth to Luke Lane in car 9. Heat race 2 went to the 81 Tanner Gebhardt. The 1 Taz, the Tasker Phillips, was second. Third was the 7 of Tyler Lee. Gage Walden in the 13G was fourth. Fifth was 75 Tyler Blank. John Comblondi in 77 was sixth. Seventh was a 59 of Ian Summerrad. Eighth in driving the 47 was a late model superstar Ryan Gustin. Ninth to 93 of Taylor Walton. Heat race number 3 went to the 24X of Cade Higday. Second, the 99X of Jake Blackhurst. Third, the 2B of Garrett Benson. Fourth was Chase Brown in 55. Sixth, 23S, or fifth, the 23S of Snoo Snyder. Sixth, 11D of Dominic White. Jason Danley in the 4X was seventh. Eighth, the 88 Riley Scott. Heat race number 4 went to the 2C of Chase Porter. Second, the 50 of Paul Nieheiser. Third, 24 T-Mac Terry McCarl. Cole Vanderheiden in the 3Z was fourth. Fifth, Cam Martin was in the 4. Sixth, the 22X Riley Goodnow. Seventh, Joe Danley in the 14. And eighth was the 40C of Cody Worley. In the dash went to Tasker Phillips. Second, Chase Porter. Third, Jake Blackhorse. Fourth, Cade Higday. Fifth, Colton Fisher. And sixth, Tanner Gebhardt. There were 2B mains taking the top 2. The first one went to the Brandon Anderson. Second, foul transfer, Riley Goodnow. Third was Stu Steiner. Fourth, Joe Danley. Fifth, Taylor Walton. Sixth, Jason Danley. Seventh, Jackson Gray. Eighth, Riley Scott. And ninth, to Ryan Gustin. B main number 2, your winner was Dominic White. And second final transfer was a 55 of Chase Brown. Third, followed by third, this John Kablandi. Tyler Blank was fourth. Fifth, McLean Richards. Ethan Stemmerad, when the 59 was sixth. Seventh was Jason Martin in the sixth. Luke Lane in the 9 was eighth. In the ninth with a fourth seat, Cody Worley. In the feature, your winner was Chase Porter. Second, Terry McCarl. Third, Colton Fisher. Fourth, Chris Martin. Fifth, Jake Blackhurst. Sixth, Wally Heiser. Seventh, Cole Vander Heiden. Eighth, J.J. Hinkle. Ninth, Kate Higbee. 10th, Chase Brown. 11th, Tanner Gebhardt. 12th, Shaylee Bay. 13th, Gage Walden. Riley Goodnow was 14th. Dominique White was 15th. 16th, Tasker Phillips. 17th, Tyler Lee. 18th, Cameron Martin. Garrett Benson. In the two, it was 19th, and 20th was Brandon Anderson. That wrapped up the weekend action. This coming week's action, there is a lot of it. Some good action. First of all, like I mentioned, practice session tomorrow night for the 410 cars at Knoxville. And then Friday and Saturday on Dirt Vision will be the World of Outlaws in town. And I'm guessing 60 cars. Over at the Marshalltown Speedway is their points opener featuring the IMCA Modifieds, Sport Mods, Hobby Stock Car, Mod Lights, and Sport Compact. That action is live on Flow. Over at the 34 Raceway, also Friday and Saturday, is Slocum 50 weekend with the Prelude on Friday night for super late models. And it sounds like there's going to be some superstars at it. I'm guessing 40 to 45 cars. And the 305 sprints are the undercard. Then Saturday night will be the Slocum 50 with modified and stock cars joining the card. Also, Friday night, CJ Speedway will open up their season opener as it'll be the modified, IMCA modified stock cars, sport mods, and hobby stocks in action. And now, if you're coming to Knoxville this weekend, here's some directions to help you get to the racetrack because of the mile-long bridge and Highway 14 from Moreau is closed to Knoxville. If you're coming from the east and the Des Moines area, the best way to go is take Highway 5 to Carlisle, and then it'll take you to Pleasantville, to the first exit in Knoxville, and then you take that, and we'll get you to Highway 14 to the racetrack. If you're coming from the west, from Oskaloosa or that way, you can go the normal Highway 92 route. But if you're coming from like Newton or Pella or Sully, I'll give you the shortcut that's easier than the route that the DOT did. You come to Pella, the Pella way, and then once you hit Pella, go to T15. That will take you to the dam, and that way to the racetrack. Will take you to Knoxville, and Knoxville will take you in town to the racetrack. I'll mention this again before Nationals. Hope everybody gets out to enjoy some racing. This has been another edition of the Dirt Racing Podcast. You can always follow us on Facebook, X, or Twitter. And we'll see you next week with another edition.
Thank you for listening to the Dirt Racing Podcast with Marshall Hain. Follow us on Twitter at Dirt_Podcast or on Facebook at the Dirt Racing Podcast.